Now, some of you have asked about specular maps, so I'll quickly show you how to create one. I have the layout for the body of my character here, and the thing to remember about specular maps is that the lighter the area, the shinier it will be. So the first thing that we want to do is take the color back considerably. It has to be almost black in order not to pick up the specularities. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll come up here to Image, Adjustments, Levels. We'll just take this color back quite a bit, and we'll probably have to do some paint out as well, so we have some pretty light tones under there. Yeah. Alright, we'll bring this back up a little bit. Now all this under arm area looks fine in our 3D program, but here you can see that it's pretty light, so take that back as far as we can without making it black, which is transparent in Game Engine. Take that back a little bit further. But for now, what we're going to do is go ahead and darken this. I'm going to use my let's see, let's set my back instead. Get a bigger brush here. Come in here and burn this down. Oops. So that it's a lot darker than this to start with. You don't want all this area that didn't get any sun to be shiny. Alright, now it's important to know where the sweat glands are on a human being so that you can portray the sweaty areas well. And so if you think of somebody at the gym who's been there for a while and where their shirts are typically wet, right down the front, under the chest area, the breast area, under the armpits, of course. And so we're just going to come back in here now and dodge away some areas. Just painting them in just for demonstration. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that's a lot. So I'll take that in the opacity considerably. And any amount of light is going to be very light now. Alright. So that's right up in the lit area, so we will be able to see a dramatic difference. Spec map in there. Okay. Alright, probably down the back as well. Alright, so let's call that our spec map. Save it as spec. Oops. I want to save that as a target file or BMP. There we go. 24 bit's fine, 32 bit is not needed. There's no alpha. Alright, so back to our 3D program. And here's our chest. So we'll go ahead to split window here. So we set this up and add a file, which will be our body spec target file. And so I don't know if you can see that in the capture, but getting a nice glossy finish here. And of course there are presets that you can play with to increase the specular roll-off, the color itself, the reflectivity. So when I bump up the reflectivity, be able to get a little bit more gloss going there. Alright, so that's basically how you apply a specular map. And unless you want it really, really shiny. Alright, go ahead and play with the settings here. Eccentricity, you can see the different effects, and really it's just your personal judgment here. Alright, so I did end up going with a blend with the specular shading attribute, and I did use our file, but I went almost black on everything except the little bit of area on the chest here and on the back, and you can see that's now where the specularity is coming in. And if we take down our eccentricity, we'll be able to see that even better. You can see that under here there's no gloss at all, and down here it begins to get a little glossy, but it's most glossy right up in here. So what that looks like is this. Everything is almost black except for that little bit of an area on his chest there and on his back. And if you want something that's even more glossy, well, we can try going really white to see how that would respond. But again, it's personal preference, and you'll need to get in here and fiddle with your map as well as your settings to get exactly what it is that you're looking for. So let's take that, for instance, and save that as a test. Okay, 20 bits fine. Come back in here and reload that specular map. Oh yeah, see, that's electric now, so very shiny. So there you go. white is silver shiny on your spec map. So again, it's all about personal preference. Kind of liked it the way it was before, so I'll go ahead and save that back out. And that is the spec map. Now, hopefully, you'll find other areas on your map here to make shiny. It's not a good idea to use a second map for spec only, unless this is of course a primary character. But you can see how very little space is being used just for an entire another render pass on the entire geometry. So even though it's a little expensive, sometimes it's really worthwhile, especially if you have athletes or such as professional wrestling, where the athletes are there's a lot of skin showing and sweaty, and that's really effective to be able to have the spec maps show where those characters are sweaty. It's a little bit more realistic portrayal. Alright, so we'll go on to the next map.